When you're curious, you find lots of interesting things to do. While not as famous of a quote, Walt Disney truly was an expert at words. Known famously for making animation movies known to the world as well as multi-billion-dollar company, Walt Disney Pictures wasn't always riding high in the sky. Walt Disney himself could actually be considered a rag-to-riches story. From murals in parking lots by Grand Center to the University of Missouri Kansas City mascot, Walt Disney's legacy lives on in the Midwest. Walt Disney created world after world, inviting the American people into each and every one of them. While Walt Disney didn't really spend a long time in Kansas City, I'm here to talk to you about his passion for art has continued to thrive throughout our community. In my opinion, the basis of culture is the idea of a collective frame of mind. To me, in Kansas City, that's art. I've always been a fan of art personally, and I believe that every culture is based off of some form of art, and that you could say each individual city, state, or country has their specific art form embedded into their culture. Kansas City is a big thing for all things art, from museums to First Friday to even an emerging film business. Our city is covered in murals. There's some midtown, there's some downtown, even some suburbs may have murals. All of these are appreciation for artists that have come before us, or even artists that are still with us today. Even just appreciating our city and our sports. So how does Disney fit into all of this? Well, Laugh-O-Gram Studios is located just off Troost towards the Paseo. Big street names for our city, right? Now, what's Laugh-O-Grams? Well, Laugh-O-Grams Films was Disney's first big company, and the building today is being kept by a company called Thank You Walt Disney Incorporated, and this is where I'm getting a lot of my information. From the Thank You Walt Disney Incorporated site, Laugh-O-Grams are considered to be short, one-reel animations that are aimed towards children and the idea of fairy tales. Now, again, how is this Kansas City culture? Well, Disney began to make a name for himself here. He pursued his artistic dreams and left behind a legacy for the whole world to see. Determined is what he was. Walt Disney didn't give up after one failure, and I believe Kansas Cityans are quite similar. According to biography.com, Walt Disney started his career in Kansas City in 1919, just as a newspaper delivery boy. He wanted to be a newspaper artist, but this was just his first step into the door. From working with the Kansas City Ad Company after being a newspaper delivery boy, he then moved on to the camera and hand-drawn animation cells. Laugh-O-Grams went bankrupt in 1923, but that did not deter him from continuing his dream. From here, he left Kansas City to go to Hollywood, and while his time in Kansas City is finished, his time in the spotlight was just beginning. Not every single Kansas Citian is an artist, or a movie mogul, or even a newspaper delivery boy, yet I believe that the arts are a big part of our culture either way. Just recently, Google announced that Kansas City will have the honor of getting its own selection in the arts and culture platform they have on their website. According to the article titled, Google says Kansas City is the first U.S. city on its art and culture platform. Pretty self-explanatory. One of the uses that will come from this edition is actually just showing our city and its art. From the Nelson Atkins to the Kansas City Art Institute, even the World War I Memorial. All of these iconic landmarks of Kansas City will now be on Google in its own special place for the whole world to see. Not even the nation, the whole world. Some may argue that Walt Disney didn't really leave an impact on our city, and that's their opinion. It's a valid one. I could see why. But the rich showcase of art within our city seems to prove just a little bit otherwise. From the giant shuttlecocks outside the Nelson Atkins, to the murals that are scattered around our city for Salvador Perez, for Kansas City and its blue color from the Royals in general. There's no denying Kansas City is full of art. Even Art Alley. If you don't know what Art Alley is, it's hidden away in the Crossroads District. And it's ever-changing art because graffiti artists are always trying to keep it new, keep it fun, and leave their mark on their city as well. Furthermore, the reproduction of this graffiti through pictures even takes it to the next level. You'll see tons of people down there taking senior photos, tons of people just trying to broaden their portfolios by taking pictures of this incredible art form. There's also Shakespeare in the Park, which is also a landmark art performance held every summer. So to believe there isn't any kind of art scene in Kansas City is kind of faulty. I don't believe Walt Disney is the main reason for our thriving art community, but I do think it's interesting to realize he added his own flair to the heart of the city. The Laugh-O-Grams building is still standing today, and it's already being renovated into a museum, as well as several animation classrooms for kids across the city. So be curious, reach out, and find something interesting to do. Thank you.